A school teacher becomes a sniper as soon as the war begins, whose single shot changes the outcome of the entire war. But the question is, how does an ordinary person become a legend by accompanying death? That answer is hidden in the movie Sniper, The White Raven. The story begins in the quiet, peaceful Donbass region of Ukraine. There, an ordinary man named Jack built a happy family in a small wooden house with his pregnant wife Emma. The two had a very ordinary life, but full of love. Emma was an artist, and Jack taught mathematics at a local school. Every day he rode his bicycle to school, taught children, and lived a very ordinary life. There was no TV or other electronic device in their home. As a result, they did not know much about what was happening in the outside world. However, during school breaks, Jack would sometimes watch the news on TV in the staff room. One day, while watching the news, he learned that protesters in the Ukrainian capital had been attacked and that Russia was preparing to launch a military operation in Ukraine. Even after hearing the news, he did not panic and went back to his class and started teaching normally. There was a student named Van in his class who was very evil and always disliked Jack. Whenever he got the chance, he tried to insult the teacher and dreamed of expelling him from the school. But Jack was a patient teacher, so he never got angry with such behavior. Then one morning, Jack went out to school as usual. On the way, he saw some armed soldiers standing. Without giving much importance to the matter, he moved forward. But when he reached the school, he saw the entire building empty. There were no students, no teachers. This surprised him. Just then, he saw on TV that Russian soldiers had already crossed the border of Ukraine and entered the country. That's when he realized that the people he had seen on the way were actually Russian soldiers. Realizing everything, Jack quickly ran to his house because Emma was alone at home. But when he arrived there, he saw a scene that changed his whole life. Russian soldiers were beating his wife. When Jack tried to stop him, they caught him and started torturing him too. He repeatedly pleaded, "My wife is pregnant, please don't hurt her." But no plea could soften their hearts. Before leaving, they set the house on fire. Seeing the burning house, Emma threw a stone at a soldier in anger. The soldier immediately shot and killed. Jack turned to stone after losing his wife before his eyes. He hugged her dead body and broke down in tears. His own helplessness broke him from the inside. After a while, 2 Ukrainian soldiers arrived there. They confirmed Jack's identity, dug a grave for Emma, and gave her the opportunity to say her last goodbye. After burying his wife, a fire of revenge was born inside Jack. He begged the soldiers to give him the opportunity to join the Ukrainian army. Although they hesitated at first, they finally took him to the military base. Before leaving, Jack took with him a small wooden angel statue made by Emma. That was the last memory of his wife. After arriving at the base, the commander did not want to accept him at first. He suspected that Jack might be a spy. But Jack, he opened up about his suffering. He said that his house had been burned, his wife had been killed, and now his only purpose in life was to protect his country. Seeing his sincerity, the commander finally inducted him into the army. The training began, but Jack had no experience with weapons. Where others could disassemble and assemble rifles in an instant, he took a long time. Everyone thought that this man could never become a skilled soldier, but Jack did not give up. He tried to overcome his weakness by working day and night. Even when others rested, he continued to practice alone. One day during training, he said that instead of calling him Jack, he should be called Raven. The seniors laughed and told him that in order to earn the code name, he had to prove his qualifications. Jack started working even harder. After a few days, the commander said that there was a shortage of skilled snipers in the army. Those who wanted to become snipers should raise their hands. Jack also raised his hand with a very few others. Everyone started laughing again. "Commander," he said, "who can't even assemble a rifle properly. Will he become a sniper again?" Jack confidently replied, "If given the chance, he will prove himself." Then he was given a test. He had to assemble the rifle blindfolded in just 20 seconds. Everyone was surprised to see that he had completed the task in just 18 seconds. Then the sniper training began. Jack learned each lesson attentively. Finally, the day came for him to be given weapons. Everyone else got modern sniper rifles, but Jack was given an old, almost useless weapon. When he demanded a new rifle, the senior said, "Prove yourself first, then you will get a good weapon." The final test taught him to keep his eye on the target and remain steady in any situation. The instructor kept firing past everyone one by one. Those who moved out of fear were eliminated. Jack remained absolutely still. In another test, he was blindfolded while aiming only once. His old rifle caused his shot to miss the target for a short while. But in the night test, he showed his true skills. He only calculated the distance and angle of the target by the light of the flares. After complete darkness fell, he fired a single shot and hit the center perfectly. No one else could show this feat. The next day, when the results were announced, the instructor saluted him and said that he had succeeded. Within a short time, he was sent on his first real mission. The mission's goal was to recapture a checkpoint occupied by Russian forces. Everyone took their respective positions and waited. Just then, a car arrived at the checkpoint. Inside was an innocent couple. Russian soldiers took them out and began to brutally brutally torture them. At the commander's command, all the snipers opened fire together. Within seconds, the entire checkpoint was free. Everyone returned to the base with the success of the first mission. But Jack learns that many of his comrades have been killed in another operation. They were killed by Russia's most feared sniper, Adam. A few days later, Jack and his team were waiting for the Russian forces on another mission. He suddenly saw his former student Van in the enemy ranks. He has now joined the Russian forces. When the commander ordered to open fire, Jack hesitated for a few moments, but putting the interests of the country above personal feelings, he finally opened fire. The explosion destroyed the entire team, including Van. When the commander returned to the base, Jack told the truth about his hesitation. The commander convinced him that Van had chosen the path of betrayal himself. After that, a deep friendship developed between the commander and Jack. The commander talked about his family, and Jack became emotional when he showed the last memento of his wife Emma. Then came the most important operation. According to intelligence, the Russian forces would advance again. Everyone took positions. Jack suddenly saw that the soldier who had killed his wife had also arrived. He asked the commander for permission to fire, but the commander repeatedly asked him to wait. Jack, burning with revenge, finally disobeyed the order and shot the soldier dead. But the result was terrible. The enemy learned of their location. At that moment, Adam shot and killed the commander from a distance. Jack somehow escaped from there with the body of the wounded commander. Returning to the base, he deeply regretted his mistake. There, he swore that he would kill Adam no matter what. Then he set out on a mission alone. He killed a few Russian snipers with perfect aim on the way, but he was also injured. After recovering for a few days, news came from the army headquarters that Adam's location had been identified. It was announced to everyone that Adam had already killed many Ukrainian snipers and machine gun teams. Not only that, but he was trying to break their morale by spreading their pictures and videos on the internet. A plan is made. The enemy will be kept busy by attacking from two sides. At that opportunity, Jack will enter the building and reach Adam. The operation begins as planned. The two teams fire to distract the enemy. Jack silently enters the building. One by one, he neutralizes the snipers inside. Meanwhile, Adam realizes that something unusual is happening. He goes up to the roof and sees the dead snipers, confirming his suspicions. As soon as he returns, Jack jumps from above and shoots him dead. Then he throws a grenade at the last sniper. But before he dies, Adam calls for backup. As the Russian army trucks approach, they try to contact Adam. Jack receives the call. He calmly says, "Your time is up." Then he shoots the truck driver. As soon as the soldiers get out of the truck, the Ukrainian snipers who were already prepared start shooting from all sides. Within moments, the entire force was destroyed. After this operation, Jack became known as a national hero. Finally, he returned to Emma's grave. Silently, he said, "I have taken revenge, but my duty does not end here. My country is still calling me." Then, taking the memory of his wife in his heart, he set off again for a new mission. Thus ends Jack's extraordinary journey from an ordinary teacher to a legendary sniper. If you like the story, then like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will meet again with another great story. Until then, everyone be well. Thank you.